billion and puts that towards military spending and federal funds, things like weapons of war and things that are used to kill people. What about the U.S.? $600 billion, 54% of all their federal spending goes to guns, bullets, and bombs. When we pay taxes, we can be confident that a lot of our money will go to things that we as Christians know are unscriptural. So the question needs to be asked then, is it scriptural at all for us as Christians to pay taxes if we know that they will be put towards things that Jehovah is very strongly against? Well, like us, the Christians in the first century also paid taxes, and this is actually brought up in Romans 13, verses 5 and 6. I invite you to turn there with me. Romans 13, verses 5 and 6. It says there, "There is therefore a compelling reason for you to be in subjection, not only on account of that wrath, but also on account of your conscience. That is why you are also paying taxes." Okay, we'll stop right there for a minute. If you focus in on verse 5 of that verse, what does it say that motivated Christians to pay their taxes? Did you notice? It was their conscience. It was their conscience that motivated them to pay their taxes. Well, why would our conscience tell us to pay taxes even if they go to things that are very clearly unscriptural? Could we reason the other way? Could we say that it's inappropriate to pay taxes even though it is told to us in the Bible to do so? And the first century Christians also did it. Well, as with all other things, we need to get Jehovah's thinking on the matter. So turn with me there to Romans 13 again, but this time we're going to read 13 verses 1 and the first part of verse 2. It says there, "Let every person be in subjection to the superior authorities, for there is no authority except by God. The existing authorities stand placed in their relative positions by God. Therefore, whoever opposes the authority has taken a stand against the arrangement of God." So what do we see there? What has God said about this? He said that these governments put in place on earth are actually a part of his arrangement. So we could reason, using our common sense, that refusing to pay taxes or refusing the government's laws and needlessly opposing them would actually be refusing to follow God's arrangement. And we know, of course, that we should always listen to the reason of God. But what if we are still bothered by this? What if we still feel somehow that in our mind we are disturbed by the fact that we might have to be putting money towards things that are endangering other people or that are outright unscriptural and wrong? In conclusion, turn with me to Daniel chapter 2 and verses 44. It's Daniel chapter 2 and verses 44. It says, "In the days of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed. And this kingdom will not be passed on to any other people. It will crush and put an end to all these kingdoms, and it alone will stand forever." So we know that although these governments on earth are ruling for a time, eventually God will put an end to them and rule with his one government. Ultimately, that is the government that we want to support. We want to support the government that is seeking to help us, seeking to help all people on earth, and a government that will allow us to worship Jehovah freely. So how do we show loyalty to that government? Well, we show loyalty to God's arrangement, pay our taxes, and follow the laws of the land.